really know you can poke an eye out with those things? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 anime sword fights. For this list, we'll be looking at the craziest sword fights in all of anime, either because of their choreography or emotional impact. As such, there will be a few spoilers throughout, so spoiler alert.
Yes, however, I know how to use Junekets to pierce your kamui. Good, then we both go down together.
Number 10, Kenshin vs. Shishio, Rollin Kenshin.
It ended 10 years ago, the moment I laid my hands on this reverse blade sword.
In order to make up for the bloodshed he caused during his lifetime as the Manslayer, Himura Kenshin vowed to never kill again, even using non-lethal means of dispatching his enemies. The same can't be said for Shishio Makoto, who's as ruthless and sadistic as they come. As the two eventually come to blows, Kenshin is tested to his very limits, almost overwhelmed by Shishio's flame-soaked blade. However, with his mastery of the Hitten Mitsurugi Ryu, Kenshin manages to defeat the new model of Manslayer. Unfortunately for Shishio, such a vigorous fight leaves him prone to spontaneous combustion. Number 9, Masamune vs. Mitsunari, Sengoku Basara, The Last Party.
Fall to Rollin!
Pretty sure this one's not historically accurate, but it's still pretty cute.
Blast off!
Following the conclusion of Tokugawa's attempt to unify Japan, the ever-loyal Mitsunari seeks revenge on the man who killed his lord, Date Masamune. As the battle for victory and vengeance commences, we're treated to a spectacle of sword slashes and dazzling energy projectiles, all at high-octane speed.
Hang your head before my lord! Braggin forgiveness, and then feel my blade in your throat!
Never before had Masamune met someone on his level of sword fighting, and when all 6 blades come out, you know he means business. Number 8, Saber vs. Assassin, Fate's Day Night, Unlimited Blade Works.
Did you not hear me when I said you had to force your way through? If you do not hurry, your master's life will surely be lost.
It's East meets West in this battle between servants. While en route to save her master, Saber encounters this graceful but deadly katana wielder, leading to a clash between equally impressive sword styles. While the Arthurian knight holds up pretty well, Assassin's concealed sword technique manages to bring her down a peg or two, leaving quite the impact before the duel is cut short.
Assassin, why did you not strike me down just now?
I was captivated, I suppose.
It may be a brief exchange, but the meshing of arts shown between the two servants makes this feud one of the series' best.
Ultimate!
Swallow reversal!
Great!
Number 7, Kirito vs. Heathcliff, Sword Art Online.
Now that my identity's been revealed, it should come as no surprise that I am the final boss on the top floor.
In order to free the minds of all trapped players, Kirito attempts the challenge of a one-on-one battle with the game's creator, Heathcliff, who, as you'd expect, is as overpowered as they come, easily dispatching his attacks. Just as it looks like it's game over, Asuna sacrifices herself for her in-game lover, giving Kirito the will to overcome digital death and win the day. Either the power of love transcends into video games, or that was just the luckiest of all glitches. Who knows? Number 6, Ichigo vs. Ulquiorra, Bleach. The rivalry between the orange-haired Shinigami and Espada No. 4 was definitely one of Bleach's highlights, all culminating in a final duel to the death where neither showed any signs of quitting. The reveal of Okura's second form was beyond imposing, and even resulted in Ichigo's death, albeit a temporary one.
Here's the man to whom you've entrusted all your hope. Bear witness as his life comes to an end.
Hearing the cries of his distraught friend brings him back from the brink, assuming a much more hollower guise. It was a battle between two titans, one that our favorite Ironclar unfortunately couldn't come back from. Number 5, Zoro vs. Ryuma, One Piece.
So you think you can take my black blade Shusui away from me, do you?
Oh, I'm taking it. I'm about to cut you down and wrench it from your cold, dead body.
On an island filled with zombies, ghosts, and talking skeletons, is there any surprise that there's also an undead samurai lurking about? In order to reclaim Brook's shadow, Zoro challenges the ancient swordsman to a duel, the result of which causes a whole lot of wanton destruction. Despite Ryuma's impressive skills, he's still no match for the Straw Hat's resident badass, who literally reduces him to ashes. As a sign of warrior's faith, he even hands over his blade to Zoro, which he certainly puts to good use later in the series.
I'll take this sword like I said, but let's pretend like this fight never happened.
Number 4, Jin vs. Mugen, Samurai Champloo.
You are in the middle of something. Pardon me. Hey, are you one of those so-called badasses?
You couldn't ask for a better introduction to our two protagonists than with a battle sequence that shows off just how much merit they really have as swordsmen.
You've got the wrong guy. And don't bother waiting for the Yagyus. They're all gone. Gone? I killed all 3.
After a case of mistaken identity, the cocky Mugen engages the reserved Jin in a duel complete with sword swings and acrobatics, where they proceed to turn a restaurant into their personal playground. In fact, they're so determined that they'll even continue to fight while everything around them goes up in flames. We can see why Fu thought they'd make great traveling companions.
Aren't you going to run?
Nah, but go ahead. Don't stay on my account.
Number 3, Guts vs. Griffith, Berserk. These two brothers-in-arms, destined to become the most hated of enemies, didn't exactly have the most pleasant of introductions. Impressed with his skills as a mercenary, Griffiths approaches Guts with an opportunity to join the Band of the Hawk.
I find you much to my liking.
When he refuses, Griffiths makes a wager that if he beats him, then he has no choice but to join. While not the most brutal of Berserk's bloody list of battles, it does demonstrate just how different these two really are. Griffiths is composed and elegant even as he's cutting up his opponent, while Guts will go through whatever pain it takes to win, including taking a blade to the mouth. Now that's commitment.
In battle, there's only one way. You should be using your mouth!
Number 2, Char vs. Amuro, Mobile Suit Gundam. It seems strange that one of the biggest rivalries in mecha history would culminate in an old-fashioned sword fight. As the area around them is falling apart, it would dictate that they would bump into one another. Without a second thought, they take up arms, and despite cries for them to stop, these two won't be content until one of them falls. The result is almost too close to call, but luck was on Char's side, and after its conclusion, we know that these two were destined to face one another for eternity. Number 1, Gintoki vs. Tagatsugi, Gintama. The white demon may be a huge source of comedy, and not exactly the most suave of samurai, but when you push him over the edge, then he more than lives up to his demonic title. no one pushed him quite as far as his former comrade turned criminal Takatsugi. Able to dish out and take untold amounts of punishment, these two practically tear each other to pieces, even when Gin is armed with just a bokuto. With relentless, bloody action, where else could this moment sit but at the top of our list? So, do you agree with our choices? What do you think was the best anime sword fight of all time? With new top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I compliment you on your noble effort, Ryuko Matoi. But the next time we meet, will be our last!